everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Reverend Cellular. The last couple days, we've been covering my 30-day experience with each one of the major three providers. My 30 days with T-Mobile, my 30 days with Verizon, and my 30 days with AT&T. Well, I'm here today to finally tell you which one I'm going to be sticking with and using as my primary provider. Who am I going to put my personal number on and use in my day-to-day life? Now, all these phone operators or all these cellular companies, they all had different benefits, right? I loved T-Mobile because I think they had the greatest customer service. They had the fastest speeds I got out of anybody else. They had the most affordable prices when you're just looking at the straight up cost for the plan before taking into consideration other things like a Verizon card has with Verizon, or like other benefits like that. Very affordable. I love that they have taxes and fees included in their plan, and they have pretty good perks. I love their Indiegogo in-flight Wi-Fi. Absolutely amazing. T-Mobile was great. Verizon had a great perk in that it had great coverage. Absolutely great coverage. Amazing perks. It absolutely overloaded you with perks. And if you paired it with things like the Verizon Visa card, you absolutely will save a lot of money. And I think then that plan becomes the most affordable plan. AT&T was great because it did offer you more coverage than you were getting with T-Mobile, but also more speed than you were getting with Verizon. Although not as much coverage as Verizon and not as much speed as T-Mobile, it was that great middleman, also at that middleman price. So which one of these three providers am I going to stick with? Well, it really comes down to this, right? They all offered three different experiences. A huge experience with T-Mobile is, okay, I'm going to break it down like this. The three experiences were like this. T-Mobile was like going to your friend's house, right? It is a great time. It's a lot of fun, lots of laughs. You're just having a good time, right? Your friend's house might not be the best, but it is just awesome to be there and you're having fun. Verizon's experience was like you're a baller, right? You're a big time baller. You're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. You're walking through the cubicles and everybody's looking at you. You're dressed to the nines in your suit. That's the experience Verizon gave off. AT&T gave me the vibe of like, this is your typical Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. You're just working to get that paycheck. You know, working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. That's pretty much the exact experience I got with AT&T. Like, it was like, you're living paycheck to paycheck, just going. Not saying that that's all the customers that go to AT&T. I'm just saying that's the vibe AT&T really gave me. I mean, Verizon gave me, like, when you walk into a Verizon store, a corporate store, I talked about how franchise Verizon stores suck. Stay away from franchise Verizon stores. Corporate stores, though, you walk in, you just feel like a baller. You feel like a hot shot, right? Everything's so nice. It's classy. It's great. You walk into T-Mobile, it just feels like everybody knows you. Everybody's your friend. I walked into AT&T and I was like, I just felt gross, right? Like, I was like, this is really depressing. T-Mobile had a nice, easy website to use, easy to maneuver, and it was fun. Verizon, easy, classy website to maneuver, and it was fun. AT&T, their website sucked. Their website seemed like it was like made in like 2005 and they never bothered to upgrade it. And not like, oh, it's ugly, but at least it's like easy to maneuver. No, it was the hardest one to maneuver out of the three major carriers, and it was completely outdated. It was just ugly. I think their logo was ugly. I think their stores were like the most depressing to be in. Their customer service honestly wasn't even that great. And then one of the stores, the first AT&T store I went to when I was switching over to AT&T, their phone or their sign on their building, the A and the T, the first A and T were like black. It was really nice. It was fancy, right? The and symbol and the T, the next one, it was like completely faded out and white. Like, it just looked like they didn't care about anything. Like, stuff was fading, signs were fading. And I get this just happens over time, but that looked like a long time that they just never bothered. And it looked like they replaced the first two letters, but didn't bother to replace the next one. Like, it was just gross. Like, the whole experience with AT&T was like, you get better coverage than T-Mobile. You get better speed than Verizon. But besides that, we don't really care about customer service. We don't care about how our website looks. We don't care about how our stores are. We don't care about the packaging for our phone. Like, they just didn't care about anything else. It was pretty much like, we're going to sell you this phone service and that's it, right? Like, we don't care. Like, it was pretty much the phone service. is the ends to a goal, right? Like you need phone service, so you get AT&T. That's what I'm saying. It's like working a 9 to 5 job. You need money, so you work a 9 to 5, so you can get money to pay your bills, right? You're just doing something to get to your end goal. Whereas Verizon felt like you got luxury, like it's luxury. You're a high baller. You're getting all these perks and benefits. They care about you, right? And T-Mobile just treated you like a friend, man. I mean, it was just great. I loved T-Mobile. Absolutely. T-Mobile was the shock, I think, for testing all 3 of these networks. T-Mobile just like blew my mind away with how fast it was, how great it was. Its 5G speeds were absolutely amazing, right? Blew my mind away. I have recommended T-Mobile a lot since using it for those 30 days as my primary carrier. Like I've had T-Mobile on a different phone. I just rarely use that phone. I mostly use it to do speed tests. But when I actually had to use T-Mobile for 30 days, blew my mind, changed everything. And I was like, I've been recommending T-Mobile to a lot of people now. It almost makes me recommend Mint Mobile or other companies that use T-Mobile's network, because I'm like, T-Mobile has a great network. It was very enjoyable. Like I said, though, before, because it's got lack of coverage, but great speed, I almost think like if you spend a lot of time in cities or villages or towns, you know, T-Mobile's a great option because it's going to give you the most speed anywhere. Like most of the towns I've visited, T-Mobile's the fastest network, right? Most cities I visit, T-Mobile's the fastest network. Verizon is great because if you travel a lot, like I do, I travel a ton. If you travel a lot, it gives you great coverage. So if you're somebody who travels, vacations, hunts, fishes, does a lot of that outdoor stuff, then Verizon I think is a great option. AT&T I think is a great option if you spend a decent amount of time in the city, but like to occasionally go out, like out into the rural areas, out to hunt, out to fish, do stuff like that, camping. If you do that very infrequently, AT&T is nice because you're still getting pretty decent speeds in the town, but when you do go out, you still should get coverage most of the time. Now, I think AT&T once again lacked, and they don't really give you any benefits. You get HBO Max, and that's really it. Whereas Verizon gives you ESPN Plus, Hulu, Disney Plus. They give you Apple Music, right? They just give you so many different benefits. So their benefits were great. They give you travel pass days, which really help traveling internationally. Whereas T-Mobile has good international parts on their plan already, where you don't need to use a travel pass day. And they have Netflix, which is great. I mean, that's the most used streaming service, so that's obviously a very good perk to have. As well as they have that Indiegogo in-flight Wi-Fi, which I love because in-flight Wi-Fi costs a ton. So having that as a perk or being able to text all the time on your flights, that's just a nice perk to have. One thing I do want to make clear to you guys too is when I was testing these, I started a couple of months ago. It was over a 3-month period and it ended mid-December. So all these tests and all these things that I was doing with these phones was before C-band was released with AT&T and Verizon, right? So my experience might have been different with Verizon, considering now they cover like 100 million people. It might have been different with Verizon because I would have had C-band, but I didn't at the time of this testing. And because of that, their speed was definitely the slowest. Also, I didn't have C-band with AT&T because they hadn't released yet. So ultimately, who did I end up choosing, right? Did I choose my best friend, T-Mobile? Did I choose feeling like a baller, Verizon? Or did I choose AT&T? Well, a big thing for me is coverage. I love to have a lot of coverage. And as long as I'm able to load videos and watch a video at least at 480p, I want coverage, right? Like, I would rather take 100% national coverage, only being able to stream all my videos at 480p, than 90% coverage and stream all my videos in 4K. That's just me. That is my personal opinion. Other people might take it the other way around. Don't get me wrong. I'd prefer to stream my videos in 4K, but 480p, I will take that cutoff if I'm getting great coverage, right? So who did I end up choosing? Did I choose T-Mobile, who had the best 5G coverage, Verizon, who had the best overall coverage, or AT&T, who is giving me more speed and better coverage than T-Mobile, but not as good as Verizon? Well, the answer is AT&T. I know it's shocking that that's the one I chose, but a huge reason I chose it, I use so much data, right? And Verizon, at the time, by the end of mid-December, did not have unlimited priority data. That's the one who I think I was really going to choose. But in mid-December, they didn't have unlimited priority data. And for me, that was a huge thing. T-Mobile had it, and AT&T had it, and I wanted coverage. I told you, coverage is my biggest thing. since T-Mobile has great 5G coverage, the best 5G coverage, I still want coverage. I don't care if it's 4G LTE, as long as I can, watch a video, use my GPS, I'll take that, right? So because of that, and because AT&T has unlimited priority data, whereas Verizon didn't, I chose AT&T. But that lasted about 2 weeks, because on January 4th, Verizon announced new plans with unlimited priority data. And because of that, I did switch my phone back to Verizon, and now I am using Verizon as my primary carrier. Another huge thing that impacted this decision is I was using my iPhone 12 mini while I was with AT&T, and I was using that as my personal number. A huge thing that I did miss, and it's not shocking to a lot of people. Some people I feel like it's shocking to. I don't know why it's so shocking. My favorite phone company, right, Motorola, I don't know if you can see that, right? I love Motorola phones. It shocks some people don't. But that Motorola Edge Plus that I have is my favorite phone that I've ever used ever. It's the Motorola Edge Plus from 2020. I know they just announced a new one, but it was a Verizon exclusive, and I have it on my Verizon account still, and I really wanted to go back and use that. So when Verizon got unlimited priority data, all their perks, the amount of money I save with the Verizon Visa card, I mean, the Verizon Visa card makes it cheaper than any other cell company. So when I get to pay less, get way more perks, and get to use my favorite phones, because a lot of people know this, if you're a Motorola fan, Motorola tends to put all their phones out across the world, except for America. They really don't touch America for some reason. However, when they do touch America, it is with exclusives through Verizon's, and their best phone are always through Verizon's. I mean, this Motorola Edge Plus was like their premium flagship phone and like their best phone in a long time, and you could only get it on Verizon. As well as like when the Motorola Razr first came out, you could only get it on Verizon. And because I love Motorola so much, Verizon got unlimited priority data. I save so much money with the Verizon Visa card, and their perks are just out of this world, and they have the best coverage. It was pretty clear to me I got to go back to Verizon. So at the end of my decision, I did choose AT&T, right? I chose AT&T. However, once Verizon had unlimited priority data, I mean, they do cap at 720p streaming, but they have better coverage. And I told you, I will stream at 480p if it means that I get better coverage, because that's my personal opinion. I like coverage. If you're somebody who likes speed, right, I'd recommend T-Mobile. If speed is the number one thing you want, I'd recommend T-Mobile as of right now, right? But for me, and the huge thing is too, I mean, Motorola even just announced a new phone, the Motorola Edge 30 or whatever, the Motorola Edge Plus. It's going to be the Motorola Edge 30 Pro in Europe and overseas, but in North America, it's going to be the Motorola Edge Plus. And it's going to have an exclusive version, or rumored to have an exclusive version with Verizon. So I'm really excited about that. As well as they have the Motorola Frontier coming out this year. And there hasn't been anything on if it's going to come to the States at all. But if it does, my guess is it might be a Verizon exclusive. So for me, the choice was clear, Verizon. If you guys are looking for great speed, absolutely recommend T-Mobile. If you guys are looking for great speed with better coverage, then I would go with AT&T. But if you're looking for great coverage with okay speed, then I definitely recommend Verizon. However, that might all change. I mean, with Verizon's build out of C-band being a lot faster than AT&T's build out of C-band, Verizon might become faster than AT&T with more coverage than AT&T, and that really leaves AT&T in this middle ground of what are they doing, right? But that's it for me, guys. After this 30-day experiment, or after this 90-day experiment, 30 days on each one, I have chosen AT&T, but within 2 weeks, Verizon announced unlimited priority data, and I did switch to Verizon. Verizon is the one that I picked. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Everybody, have a great day. Hit all the buttons, and as always, stay blessed.